Reading and reviewing indie books has become a passion of mine over many years and has helped me get through the many challenges that life can present. To me, there is nothing better than the escapism, the immersion, and even the magic that reading can be. As an indie author myself, I know the challenges and difficulties of finding book reviews, and so just like my dedication to writing, here I am doing my best to support words by fellow authors. Welcome to Talking Indie Books with Lee Hall, an opportunity for me to showcase some wonderful indie books I've been reading. And for this episode, I shall be reviewing one of my most recent reads, which represents the genre of interactive science fiction. Now, you might be thinking, interactive? Aren't all books interactive? And my answer would be yes, to an extent. We as readers very much have an interactive experience with books. But for this title, that experience is dialed up big time, and I'm talking about Brutal Moon, a time and fate adventure game book by Andrew Morris and Laura Dodd. This unique book, or game book I should say, gives readers the ultimate power in deciding the fate of the story. This is a science fiction novel where you are the hero, and it's incredibly immersive and rather well done. Now to some, game books might be familiar, and somehow it's a concept that has passed me by. I remember back when I was much younger seeing books where readers could choose specific endings or pathways, but for Brutal Moon, you get to choose pretty much the whole journey. The story begins with an easy-to-follow introduction that lays out the rules and how to navigate the book, while also introducing the world of an alternative 1970s timeline set in Britain, where there is a history of extraterrestrial life and the threat of it is very much apparent. Here we get a brief history lesson about a race of lifeforms called the Sachemex, while the reader plays the role of Hilary Hills, a scientist's assistant who is suddenly thrown into an adventure crossing time and space. She finds herself on a remote base where the Sachemex are lurking. What happens next is entirely the reader's choice, and so, to quote my recent review, "Those who enjoy Doctor Who and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy will feel at home here with an original story full of tension that gives readers control and plenty of alternative decisions. You can be cautious and try to avoid any threat, or be adventurous and get closer to danger, while also exploring the setting full of detailed interaction. The sense of tension and danger really closes in around you as the adventure plays out, along with the stakes, with pages turning frequently." For my first read-through, it took just one sitting for me to play out the adventure, as I was hooked and found myself turning those pages to see if I had made the right decision, which decides whether or not you ultimately survive. My choice was to be partially cautious, while also curious, to explore the surroundings and manage to earn myself 95 savvy points. Now, the concept of collecting savvy points dictates the journey further ahead, while you can also pick up items and even codes that can be noted down in the back pages, making for that extra level of immersion. You are advised to carry a pencil with you so you can make these notes at the very beginning. For anyone who enjoys sci-fi and thriller with some British charm and plenty of opportunity for being as interactive as you like, then I'd happily recommend this one. The unique choices allow scope for multiple playthroughs, and this is definitely a unique book I'll be revisiting multiple times. My favourite quote from Brutal Moon was this: "You summon up every ounce of courage, and then, on your hands and knees, slowly push the door open. Just a crack at first, then a little more. Keeping low, you dare to poke your head around the door for a peek." My rating for this book was 5 stars, and you can find my written review linked below. So that wraps up this episode of Talking Indie Books with Lee Hall. I'd like to thank you for joining me on this journey, and of course, if you're reading something right now, remember to leave a review. Peace out, rock and roll, and reading indie books. This video is supported by a wonderful community of people over on my Patreon. If you are looking for more exclusive content such as book marketing and promotion guides and social media tutorials for creatives, then check it out. All of my video content premieres first via Patreon, and that includes more episodes of Talking Indie Books with Lee Hall. Sign up to be a Royal Rockstar today, and you'll receive a free digital copy of my best-selling guidebook, Consistent Creative Content.